A very good afternoon to my fellow Toastmasters and guests. As my evaluator mentioned, I'm doing a question and answer session. So it goes like you have a speech followed by a Q&A. That's how the Toastmaster says. But as I was driving to the club, I got a new idea. What if I give half my speech, will have Q&A, followed by the remaining half. If whatever I expect you will ask is being asked, then the remaining half will be completed. So we'll go in this format. Okay. So today, my speech is going to be about humorous speech. Please note, this is not a humorous speech, but this is about a humorous speech. But why humorous speech? You might ask, right? We have all been in one situation where the whole room is silent, just like this, but one guy cracks a joke and instantaneously the ice is broken. We all have this train journey or office meeting where this has happened. So today we're going to see this in 4 parts. First, what is a humorous speech? Second, what brings humor? Third, how do I write one? Finally, what is good to avoid? So, what is a humorous speech? Before going about what a humorous speech is, let me say what it is not. It is not a one-liner jokes. When I say one-liner, it's like a horse walks into a bar and the bartender asks, "Why long face?" This is just a joke. This is not a humorous speech. Again, Madhura Muthu type of jokes. You know Madhura Muthu jokes, right? Mokka jokes. Like, this is boomer, this is uncle, this is boomer uncle. And this is man, this is Salman. So these are not humorous speeches. Okay? I need it back. I took it from my son. Okay. So, humorous speech, and also the third one, which is stand-up comedy type of speeches. You see stand-up comedy, they are one joke after other, which may not be related. It could be like 30 seconds to 1 minute. It starts like, I went to our office, what happened? And then speaking of office, there is a new biryani shop which opened next to my house, which is totally not related, but that's how the stand-up comedy goes. So this is not, humor speech is not like a stand-up comedy type of speech. So humor speech is something which follows a typical speech pattern. It has a beginning, a middle, and end. And humor is spread across throughout the speeches. So the objective is to make the audience laugh. So that's our humorous speech. Now let's go to the second part of the speech, which is what brings humor. Right? So I have 4 elements which brings humor. The first one is exaggeration. You could take a simple scene and you just exaggerate to the next level. I'll give you an example in Toastmasters itself so that you will understand it better. Few months back or maybe years back, DPM Ashok Kumar made a joke about dancing, made a speech about dancing. So he said he wanted to learn to dance. So for people who know who Ashok Kumar is, that is not a joke. We understand, right? He learns, he sings, he learns German, he goes to Japan. So for him to do dancing is not a big deal. But he didn't stop with that. He said he wanted to become next to Prabhudeva. And he was so serious about it, and he did all these moves and all, how he is really planning to be next Prabhudeva. It was hilarious. Myself sitting there along with Mark Shridhar, we were laughing the entire 20 minutes on this. So, when you exaggerate a simple content, that becomes humor. So, your whole speech could be exaggerated, or something. In one of my previous speeches, I used something like, myself and my wife went to shopping for Pongal. By the time when we came back, it was already time for Diwali shopping. No? So, you could have it in a small sentence also where you can exaggerate. So when you use it well with correct pauses, that will bring humor. So the first element is exaggeration. If you see a lot of Vadivel jokes, they are all exaggerated. See, I'm not trying to compare movies with our speeches, they are entirely different. But humor in general is humor. When Vadivel goes on to say, "Kanatakano," so which is exaggeration, right? And we all love for it. A lot of Vadivel jokes, you see, do you want to talk to Bin Laden? There's nothing to it, but if anyone else does it, it won't be that funny. But when he does it, it's exaggerated and it becomes funny. So that's the first element of a humorous speech. The second could be illogical. We are often told that there should be logic, there should be clarity, there should be a correct content in whatever we deliver. but it is 100% opposite when it comes to humorous speech. We can be illogical as possible. Again, I'll give you an example. A few months back, our Toastmaster Vasant gave a speech about how he is not finding any girl to marry, and he finally applied in all matrimonial, including the one in Pakistan. Okay, so it was illogical. And he also got a call from Namita one day, and he was very excited to talk to her. So we all know there is no logic to it, but when he actually said it, we all laughed. So that's the power of illogical thing. Another example again from DDM Ashok Kumar, where he gave a speech last time about a person joining a Toastmasters club called Single Ready to Mingle Toastmasters Club, where a person has come to the club and he hoping to get a girl, he didn't get anything, so he complained to police and the police has called him, so he is arguing against the person in the court. So the whole speech goes on to that, which is completely illogical. There is no logic to it. But with that speech, he won in club level, area level, and he went all the way to division level with the same speech. So that's the power of illogical things. So the third one is self-deprecation type of humor. Yeah, the third one is self-deprecation type of humor. Here, you just put yourself down. You don't have to have, so whenever you make a joke where you put yourself down, audience somehow enjoys that. It has happened in many places. I'll give you an example. This is a true story. So I fell in love with a girl when I was 21, right? So she was a beautiful girl, went very well. And at the same time, I was practicing delayed gratification. So I got married when I was 31 to a different girl. So now I have 2 wives and 1 son. No, 1 son and 2. No. 1 wife. 1 wife. See, you pretend that you forgot a thing and you make a joke out of it. So you can't insult other people, you just insult yourself. So that somehow audience like it. They feel funny. A lot of Mr. Bean type of jokes are similar to that. Okay, now let's go to the fourth part, which is the most common type of humor, which is observational humor. When you say observational humor, you see something, you just present it, right? Or I woke up in the morning, I went to buy something, and I saw this. Here also I'll give an example. This is about my friend, his name is Dinesh, he's my college friend. It's a true story, okay? So, he had a special character, okay? He had something called a Kalyana Rasi, meaning whenever he likes a girl, the girl will instantly get committed, or she will fall in love with the other guy. This not just happened once or twice, it happened multiple times, and he used to make fun of him for a while. So this happened for some time, and we all forgot. Days passed, we are out of college. One day, after a few years after the college, we were discussing, myself, Saravana and Ajay, 3 other friends were discussing in a coffee shop here. And Ajay was saying about something else, and then he mentioned that his younger sister is not finding a right match because of some horoscope issue. So something like that. So once Ajay left, myself and Saravana came up with this nice idea to introduce our Dinesh to Ajay's sister. You won't believe me, within 2 months of Dinesh talking to that girl got engaged to a very nice person. Now she is happily married ever after. So this is something, a little thing which happened in your life, and you just make a whole speech of it. It could be a part of the speech or the whole speech itself. And I'm sure similar things have happened in all our life, so you can joke about this. So this comes to the fourth part of my speech, which is the observational one. So now let's go to Q&A if you guys have anything, and then the objective of the project is to ask Q&A, so you have to ask questions. Any questions on humorous speech? How to write? How to
so
present?
my question is it better to have a humor speech, just a humor only, or we can have one, add some serious message at the end like that? Because I try multiple times, even if you add a serious message at the end, people laugh and go, they don't take up what to do.
So that is actually a plus point. If they are laughing for the message also, then you are watching it at multiple levels. So that's a very nice thing. I personally feel a humorous speech has to be humorous. You don't have to have a message, but there should be a relevance. You can't simply talk about 2 different things And like I said, you can't talk about what happened in your office and then suddenly talk about a new biryani shop and then say you went to US once, which is no relevance. There should be a relevance to the speech, but it may not have a message to it. So that's how I like it. Yeah. Anybody?
I have a question. Yes. Since the humor speech comes into picture, or any speech we want to provide as humor, right?
Yes.
We think about the humor first.
Yes.
So when humor comes first,
Yes.
we left the story completely behind. We
Yes.
try to see that, okay, what best topic we can, how humor the topic can be, how humor the ending can be. But the in-between story is meant missing, and so far I've not completed my humor speech.
So you're talking about the title, is that what you're saying?
No.
The flow of the structure.
So that is the main thing. So flow of the content. So if you take, so how I would do is I will take one joke. Let's take this Dinesh, for joke. So I've taken one joke. So the true story about here is Dinesh has something like a Kalyana Rasi. That is true. Okay. So, but then you tell a story before that. How Dinesh happened, what all happened to him, how many rejections he had. Give a story, give some adjectives, put in a nice words, how all it happened. Then add Ajay's sister story. So then I can add your own story. I actually fell in love with a girl. We were about to get married, but then she had a younger sister. We don't know what to do. Then we quickly contacted Dinesh, and Dinesh came to the rescue. So you add more sentences, add jokes along with that, and then that will build up the whole speech. So normally when I write one joke, like exactly you said. I write one joke, one humor part. Then I try to add sentence more, and then I try to cover the whole thing. As you try to think about it, automatically some more humors will come in, so you can fill it up. And if it is only for the contest, you're aiming for 5 to 7 minutes, which is easily achievable within. If you just add 3-4 jokes, it will automatically come. But yeah, the important thing is sometimes people are wondering where do I start with, so that is where most people get stuck. They don't know where to start. So if you keep thinking you will never end up with something, you start with one joke. So that is what I do. What I normally do is whenever I think of a joke, I use this note, I write it in my mobile phones. So I have a bunch of jokes already available with me. So if there is a contest coming up, I'll think this will be good, will this be good? Then I'll think of a joke where I can add more, then I'll pick up that joke, and then or there are times where I can combine 2 jokes together. So that has already worked a few times. Especially my previous joke about shopping and all. If you see, I told about how I went for shopping and all things happened. And so those are mix of multiple jokes together, put together, and then I branded it as the shopping joke, shopping speech. And that worked well. Though I didn't win, I was happy with the speech which I gave. Yeah, thank you. Did it answer your question? Yes, please.
How do you see this chat GPT and other sites coming into picture, right? Because it gives information about where do you pass, where do you exaggerate, all those inputs are given. But is it the right way to, or have you ever used the chat GPT?
So personally, one thing I would say is chat GPTs and AIs, they are not good with humor. They will tell you a joke, but they are not good with humor. They don't get the emotions what we wanted to deliver. So if you are looking for jokes, I would strongly recommend use YouTube. Even our own YouTube channel where we have a lot of playlists, lot of speakers, speeches, lot of educational sessions we have. So from that you can take inspiration. If you want to steal, you can steal from Sugi Sivam or Mogana Krishnan or Tenkachiku Swaminathan. They have a very nice way of telling jokes. You can take content from them, you can translate it, so you can fit into wherever you want. So, but AI, I wouldn't say it is actually useful in terms of delivering joke because it is more about emotions. And a joke is a part of content as well as delivery. Yeah, so I don't think AI will work, and I don't think it has worked for me as well. Yeah.
Sir, will you name some disadvantages adding jokes in speeches?
Right. So what type of jokes we are avoiding? Is that what you're asking?
No.
Disadvantages of
Adding
humor
jokes.
in the speech.
So there are different types of speeches, right? So if there is a scary speech where you want it, or there is an emotional speech, or there is an inspirational speech, and you know how much long the speech is. In those things, if you add, if it's a small speech like 5 to 7 minutes, you don't put humor into that. Or you can put it in the beginning, or you can even know where to put it. Don't put it in the important places. So when you're telling a scary story, if you add a joke to it, and audience will lose it. So the joke is like a right amount of salt. You know where to use it, how to use it. So if so, there will not be. You should not voluntarily add a joke for these kind of speeches. But other speeches, informational speeches, you can add jokes. For storytelling, you can add jokes. But like scary jokes, scary story, or an emotional one, or an inspirational one, in that you can know you try to see where to add it. If not, you can avoid it. That is better.
When we're writing the script and delivering it, people are laughing at unexpected places and not laughing at where we expect. So how we understand, when writing the script, how we can think and write the script.
Right. So this has happened to all speakers, all writers. So the thing is, it's more about practice. You will know, because I think people will laugh at some point. I'm sure it has happened to Arun Prasad much more times. He has personally told me. So you look at the audience, they won't laugh, and then you will be saying something, and suddenly they will laugh. So this is more about practice, trial and error. The more you do, the better you get at it, and then you will know where to, how it is, and how to. So when an audience is laughing, you don't quickly go over there. You let them laugh. So there will be one person who's always smiling like me. He will sit in the first bench or somewhere. Okay, so you catch that person. You let them laugh. Once he is laughing, the whole team will laugh, and you get the laughter, because that's the objective, right? So if they are giving laughter in unexpected places, you get it from them, and then you move on. Over time, you will be able to predict exactly where they will laugh. So that's a journey.
Is there some special tip for a joke to work from your side?
Special tip. So okay, there is something which everyone says. It's called situation build. There will be a situation you build up and twist. Okay, so that's like a technique which they will say. So how it goes is like, I'll give you an example. So again, myself and my wife, we went for a shopping, and it took us like 4 hours. You know the Pothis, right? It's a huge one. Every floor we have to go into saris and then one on one. It took us 4 hours, and I was so tired. I was thinking of coming. But my wife wanted to get the plans which they said, I would have already spent for 10,000 rupees, but she wanted that plan. So we stood in that line for over 30 minutes to get the plan. And finally she got a mango plant, and I live in a 6th floor apartment. So if you see this, you give a situation where you are, and then you build up saying it was already tired. Then she stood in a line for 30 minutes, and she got a mango plant. And then the twist comes, I live in a 6th floor apartment, which is of no use to me. So that's how you phrase it. When this comes in other things together, it will be very funny.
So in your humorous speech, nobody laughed. Then how you will cope up with
So that is true. There are many times where many people don't laugh. But like I said before, there will be one person who will always laugh. You get hold of that person. Or if he will at least smile. Okay, so there is two parts to it. One is you come here to prepare something you want to deliver, right? So if they don't laugh, first one thing is you can learn from that. Okay, people are not laughing at these jokes, so I have to change my jokes. Second is you have to complete the speech, right? If you have to complete the speech, you have to at least see somebody laughing. Then only you get motivation to complete the speech. For that, you get hold of that person. There will definitely be one or two persons who is at least smiling at you when you crack a joke, when they are making eye contact. You catch that person, and once that person becomes, the other people will start to laugh. It's people say no, laughter is contagious. Why? It is because like that. You see, you take any contest on this for this matter. When you see one person is laughing, automatically others will also laugh. Okay.
One question.
Yes, yes.
Since you mentioned about laughter, right? How do you distinguish between how a person laughs from the heart or just like that? Can you able to give some examples like that?
I think he's ragging me now.
These are hearty laugh.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. So either way, your objective is solved. The objective for you as a speaker here is to get the laughter. Whether they are laughing voluntarily for you or for a mukka joke, at the end of the day, you are getting the laugh and it is spreading across. So your objective is better. You don't have to investigate on whether it is a true laugh or it is a fake laugh. I don't think that's out of syllabus for us. Right.
So when the audience laugh in between the speeches, how do you remember the remaining speech content? How do you manage to complete the speech? Because every time I'm getting struggle when someone laughs, forget the
Madam,
speech.
correct, madam. That has happened to me many times. I get distracted easily when people are, but that is a practice which we have to develop. First time I was giving a speech here, especially a humorous speech. I was talking, suddenly a guy sitting here, my friend Nandu Gopal, he dropped with a water bottle, glass, tung, 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 that sound came. It's a plastic thing, it would just give one sound, it would stop. If you see the glass, it produces a sound and with an echo it comes. And I was seeing that, I completely forgot my speech. I was a little nervous, and he's seeing me. He knows that he has screwed up my speech. We were seeing each other for 3 seconds. We were just looking at each other, and then I smiled, and then I turned back. Then I tried to recollect it. So that is a practice. That is a habit we have to practice over time, and eventually we'll get it in. So it's similar to how you practice for your regular speeches. When you first read, you would have prepared so many times, and after that you can just ball it out. You know how to speak. You get that confidence level, and then you go over it. If you forget, I'm sure that happens, but again, you have to practice. And over time, not just the same speech, I'm saying over time, different speeches, you will know how to recollect it. The mind will automatically rewire itself to get to the right point. Okay, so that is all it is. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay, so I brought in a cheat sheet just because if you have not if you have asked every question or not. Okay, so most of the questions you have asked, which is covered in the second part of the speech, things which you didn't ask, I will tell you is, most of the people, they often talk about, whether to focus on, as you see, most of the question was mainly on the content front and not on the delivery. To me, a human speech is equally important in terms of content and delivery. Some of you think I'm very good in writing content, I'm not good in delivery. So don't worry about that, focus on both. So content and delivery should go together. That is the importance of a humorous speech. Second is, we can use a lot of word plays, like a lot of crazy moment jokes and all, he says pinnadi, kannadi, and one of Teju's speech, I still remember, she used something called Doubt Deepak. The guy name is Deepak. So when you bring in a character, you can bring in a character like that. And that guy always doubts, he asks questions. So you can bring in a character called Doubt Deepak, and that brings in laughter. So those things you can use. So one thing I would say not to avoid in a speech is, I would say, avoid toilet jokes. It's very bad. It's not nice. And avoid talking about my wife did this, my husband did this. It's a little boring. So to conclude, many people think humor is not my cup of tea, but I think it's, from whatever I came to know about seeing different speakers talk, it's more about practice and skill which you develop over time and not something which you're born with. So since you're a Toastmaster, you practice as a skill like any other skills. Over time, you'll also be a good speaker. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you very much.